What do you think? We're talking about cops, so what do you think is the best martial arts for self-defense?
For sure, jiu-jitsu. Yeah, for sure.
Wrestling?
I think grappling, I should say. What judo as well, especially in a cold climate. If you get someone who's got like a heavy winter jacket on, my God, like judo is an incredible
Plus
martial
concrete.
5 best BJJ techniques for self-defense. So, what are the 5 best BJJ techniques for self-defense? To pick the best 5, we wanted to choose ones that are effective, easy for a beginner, and ones that can be done with minimal regular training. While we always suggest training these and all other martial art techniques as much as possible, we feel these can be done by the average person in any typical, if there is such a thing, self-defense situation with little practice. In the next 10 minutes, we'll go through the following BJJ techniques we feel are the best for self-defense. 1. Rear naked choke, RNC. 2. Armbar. 3. Triangle. 4. Guillotine. 5. Kimura. We will take a dive into some real-world scenarios on these techniques, as well as how these techniques allow you to control an attacker without causing harm, which could bring legal troubles your way. And finally, we'll discuss how these techniques are effective against larger, strong attackers. While researching which techniques to include, I was amazed at how often BJJ is suggested as the go-to martial art for self-defense, especially for women. It's easy to see why BJJ is suggested for women, as many of the techniques are from positions you'd be in a SA-type situation. As a disclaimer, we must say in advance, if you can avoid, run, or not be in a position to need to defend yourself, that is ideal. Unfortunately, we live in the real world, and that isn't always possible. Situational awareness is a must no matter who you are. Now, on to the first technique, rear naked choke, RNC. A lot of people wonder, why is it called the rear naked choke? It's actually rather simple. It stems from the Japanese words from naked choke, which is where it was originally named in the judo martial art. You don't need to be wearing a gi to perform this choke, and it's done from behind, hence the name. A simple real-world scenario where the RNC would be ideal would be if you used it on an attacker that was attacking someone else and the attacker had their back to you. You could come behind them and lock in the choke and tighten or loosen the choke depending on the attacker's move. You have the option to release the choke or tighten as much as needed. This could result in the attacker being unharmed or rendered unconscious to unconsciousness permanently if the situation needed to go that far. Even if the attacker is much larger and stronger, the choke is effective if done correctly. The RNC is considered one of the most effective and simplest chokes to learn. Now, how is the RNC done? We've included a more detailed video link for this and all other techniques in the video description. Here's a simple explanation. Slide your choke arm under your opponent's chin and cup their shoulder to make it hard for them to take off. Then, slide your top hand behind your opponent's shoulder and grab the bicep of your top arm. With your bicep grip set, slide your top hand behind your opponent's head. From here, you can finish your choke. Take a deep breath and squeeze with your body to lock on the pressure. Armbar. Most everyone has seen an armbar. They may not have known what it was, but they've seen it in movies or MMA fights. The armbar has been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. It's a simple technique that attempts to make the elbow bend the way it isn't supposed to. First, you must have control of an arm. The arm should be held around the wrist area, between your legs, and pulled to your chest. You want the thumb of the person you're doing the armbar on to be pointed away from your chest. If you're laying on your back, their thumb should be pointed to the sky or ceiling. Depending on how you're situated, your legs should be squeezing their arm at your knees with your legs either up on their shoulders or one leg on their head and the other over their chest or close to that area. Once you are at that point, you squeeze your knees together while raising your hips up and your legs downward, if possible. Their elbow should be above your crotch to create room for the arm to be pulled down as the arm below the elbow is raised up, potentially hyperextending the elbow. Doing this quickly and with enough muscle results in the elbow no longer elbowing. Triangle. The triangle choke is another fundamental BJJ technique. The triangle is especially helpful to have in your toolbox if you're a female and find yourself in a SA situation. The basic triangle is done from closed guard. This has you on your back with the attacker between your legs. Picture your legs making a figure 4. One of your ankles is strapped between the opposite knee. Now picture your attacker's head and one arm sticking out between. As you squeeze, it cuts off blood from getting to the brain, resulting in them taking a quick nap, if they don't give up in time. Definitely watch the video for this one. It's simple to do, but difficult to explain without a demonstration. Guillotine. The guillotine. The choke that teaches you how to do takedowns properly. If your head goes to the side of your opponent, a guillotining they will go. This choke is normally one of the first taught to students, yet it's so effective it's used at the highest levels of both BJJ and MMA. For the guillotine, picture a headlock, except the person you've gotten in a headlock has their body in front of you instead of behind you. You position your opponent's head under the armpit and the forearm under the neck, giving the opponent the appearance of being trapped in a guillotine. The choke works by putting pressure on the carotid arteries, forcing them to tap out or go off to dreamland. It's a painful choke, hard enough on the neck alone without the added pressure on the arteries. This is a very versatile choke. Once control of the head is established, you can potentially control the attacker by tightening the choke when they don't play by your rules. If they play nice, you can let them go, and/or quickly escape without any permanent damage done or potential lawsuits. Kimura. One of my personal favorites, second only to the RNC, is the Kimura. The basic Kimura is typically taught from closed guard, although it can be done in many different situations. The basic Kimura is with you on your back and the attacker between your legs in closed guard. From there, with a little training, you can pull them towards you, which likely will result in them putting their heads down on each side of you. You grab one of their wrists with the same side hand. You release your legs and come up to that elbow and bring the arm not holding the wrist over their arm and grab your own arm near the wrist from under their arm. Once the grip is established and you have control, you can go back to your side while holding them down with your now free legs and move their wrist to their furthest ear. This potentially puts extreme pressure on both the elbow and shoulder joints. That's our list of the 5 best BJJ techniques for self-defense. Agree? Disagree? Let us know in the comments. Self-defense is one of those things you don't think you need until you absolutely need it. Self-defense isn't taking down several attackers like you see in movies. It's most commonly defending yourself against an acquaintance or someone that sees you as an easy target. Self-defense is preserving your life, running away if that's an option. Jocko himself said he'd run away if he had the chance. He doesn't want to risk being hurt or hurting someone and potentially end up in court. If you are attacked, there's no guarantee someone will be there to help you. Even if someone is there, they are more likely to get out of their phone and record it than call the police. If you want to build confidence, be more able to protect yourself, practice situational awareness, and find a good place to start training. You can meet some great people and get in the best shape of your life. Oftentimes, the most difficult step for getting started is walking through that door the first time. For the women out there that walk through the door and see all men and still try out a class, you are a force to be reckoned with. Nothing but respect for you ladies.